that, 2 weeks since I've made the last StrikerS system bay. It's crazy how time flies. But today, you don't have to worry about that because we're back with a brand new bay of the StrikerS system. This right here is Angelic Silver, a stamina type, dual spinning, spin stealing bay. So this episode is sure to be a fun one. Let's waste no time and get straight into the review. Beyblade consists of 5 parts. We have a chip, a core, the blade itself, the disc, and finally the driver. So here's a little review and a little info on everything. So first we have our chip, silver. Very simple chip with rocking a nice white and gray scheme. You have a little red eye here and a little piece of yellow to represent a halo. You'll see better on the drawing. Then we have our core. So this is called 3G. 3 because it is 3 studs tall, and G because it has these gear and teeth pieces along it, giving it a bit of a weaker burst resistance than a regular 3 core would be. Had to find some way to nerf it. Then we have our layer, Angelic. So right off the bat, you might be able to tell this layer is a little bit lighter than my previous layer that I had, the Cobras. That's because this piece was, I had an extra piece here on this little gap. So instead I just made it a little lighter because it doesn't have that piece anymore. Yeah, really not too much to say about it. It looks really nice, in my opinion at least. It has these 2 rubber bands for spin sealing. Obviously it is a stamina type, and it has a dual spin feature, so you could go left spin or right spin, so you could spin steal from your opponent any way you go. So that's Angelic. The disc is grip, like a very lightweight disc, very nice. The red really matches with the color scheme, in my opinion, really well, with the white and red from the chip. So with this disc, it has an awakening. So how it works is that in battle, these yellow pieces will break off, making it lighter, obviously, but also it won't scrape the stadium because these pieces are sharp and really long. Usually they would scrape the stadium with a low driver. So obviously in battle, these will come off when the bay is hit really hard. And yeah, that's grip. So my concept for this is like, as you hold something, your grip on it, you have like a strong grip on it, but then over time your grip can like weaken. So that's how I thought of how to create the disc. Finally, the driver, tether. So it is a free spinning driver. It has this little circular dome piece. It's made up with this little brick here stuck inside of this this piece right here, and then it all just sticks together very nicely. Gives it the free spin gimmick, and it is really low. So let me attach them so you could see. When both the disc and driver are together, you can see that it's pretty low. So when it does scrape the stadium at times when hit really hard, and that's what forces the awakening gimmick to happen. So how to assemble the bay, that broke. How to assemble it, you would put your disc and driver as you would. Then you would have the chip, put it onto the layer, put in your core, and here is your bay. So in total, this is Angelic Silver, grip, tether, and the core 3G. So So this is the low mode for the bay. I forgot to showcase this in the last video, but basically every bay in the Spectrum system can do this. They have both a low and a high mode. So currently this is low mode. If you want to access high mode, how you do it, let me just, piece that fell off. There we go. So to access high mode, instead of putting our chip like this, like how we did before, we're going to put it onto these gray pieces. So like that. Line up these little straight pieces here with these bigger pieces of the disc put together, and you'll see that we've successfully made a gap within the blade and the disc. So that's your high mode. So like the real thing, in high mode, it is a little bit more prone to bursting, but in some matchups, it might actually be useful to get the high mode on your opponent. So that's Angelic Silver. Now let's take a look at the art and then we'll do some test. Actually, before we take a look at the art, I wanted to just quickly do a recap of all the gimmicks that Silver has. So we can tell from the driver, free spinning driver, we have an awakening from the disc, and then finally we have, wait, I need to put that proper. Finally, we have the spin stealing that Silver has with the use of rubber bands, dual spinning, and then there's a high mode and a low mode, but every bay has that gimmick. So now for real, let's move into the art. Let's dive straight into our art. So as you can see, the user of Angelic Silver is named Sylvia Frost. She has a white hairstyle with some pink highlights, a crown, purple eyes, yellow and red jewelry, like earrings, and she has a little red on her wardrobe. Has some purple, blue, and pink colors onto the dress that she wears. On the top right, there is a quick facts section. So I'll read it for you guys this time because I didn't last time. So here it says that Sylvia Frost is of royal descent, meaning she is a princess chosen to be the next queen. She is an only child and decided to carry the family tradition of blading to stay busy. So she lives in a castle, is trained by her dad, and never went to a tournament, so doesn't have a public ranking yet. However, is still a strong blader. Okay, taking a look at Silver, found on like the middle-ish right of the paper, we can see that, like the chip, has the gray for like a hairstyle, red eye, yellow for the halo, and then I kind of just made up the rest of the body. So I kind of went for like a ruler type of theme, has the wings because of Angelic. So I made the wings red for its like spin stealing to represent the rubber bands. And yeah, that's Silver. We also have the launcher setup that Sylvia uses. Flipping over to the next side of the page, we have the Sylvia Frost and some like information on her. So starting from the left side, we have the name Sylvia Frost, also known as the Blading Queen and the Dual Spin Disaster. So for appearance, we mentioned this earlier, white and pink hair, eye color is purple, gender is female, birthday I made as February 9th, debut age, so 13, and occupations, we have Blader and the Princess of Winteria. So I just decided to call that like the Northern District. I don't know, if I ever did like a whole backstory for this whole thing, I would kind of like divide it into districts. So she's part of the Northern District. We have the stock combo, which is of course Angelic Silver, grip, tether, and 3G. We have a drawing of Silver in the middle-ish. We have, for moves, we have Angelic Spin. So that would be like the draining, the spin stealing ability. Then Angelic strike, a classic strike move, tether drift. So it kind of reminds me of Emperor Fornius from Turbo when he had his Emperor drift. This one is tether drift. We have Angelic counter, and yeah, that's the moves. So of course, it's part of my Beyblade StrikerS system, and Angelic is a dual spinning stamina type layer. And that is the drawing. After taking a look at that art, let's get on straight into a test spin. So first, let's get silver in right spin. So, ready? 3, 2, 1, let it rip. I love how this driver isn't your typical stamina driver, like movement. It does move around, so it does get a little bit aggressive in battles at times. So it's really good at dishing counterattacks, especially when it's awakened and because it has that free spinning piece of the driver. Okay, now I'll do a launch in left spin. And then, you wanna know what? After, let's do a test for free spinning. I'm sorry, not free spinning, I mean spin stealing. Okay, here, ready? Left spin. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay, let's get this. So to do this spin stealing test, we will be using Cyclone Rocktivore from Hasbro, and we'll just hand spin silver next. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. And here comes silver. So there's that a little aggressiveness, as you saw. Taking the center, coming back, draining the spin out of Rocktivore, and there we go. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this second bay of my system. And yeah, looking forward to making more in the future. Please like, subscribe, and look out for my content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.